Joy Guru.
Joy Guru.
This is Banyan Roots, a podcast series about musical mystics of West Bengal, India, and Bangladesh known as the Baul or Fakir.
Their philosophy defies definition but has been influenced by many faiths that have taken roots in Bengal.
Like how one banyan tree's dangling roots are actually comprised of many different species of tree all interwoven together and reaching for soil.
Sufism, Vaishnavism, and Vajrayana Buddhism all made their way into this still evolving tradition.
I am Lucia Thomas.
And I am Shubhajit Sengupta.
We'll be your hosts.
And translators.
And I'm also the violinist on this show. We'll be sharing my own live recordings of songs and discussions that I collected while playing, traveling, and living with the Baul in villages throughout West Bengal, India.
The Baul often explore a theme during their music sessions, each song digging deeper into a question. Following their example, today we will be exploring Deho Twatto, the theory of the body.
Singing is Babu Fakir.
এই বাউল হওয়ায় খেপারে সহজ কথা নয়.
The lyrics go, his deepest love is renunciation. Without cares, he's left behind house and home. Becoming a Baul, O crazy one, is not so easy.
যিনি সর্বত্যাগী সর্বত্যাগী অনুরাগী ঘর ছেড়ে বৈরাগ্য হয় বাউল হওয়ায়ও খেপারে সহজ কথা নয় বাউল হওয়ায়ও খেপারে সহজ কথা নয়.
The next verse will go, the Baul don't have their own house. Baul don't get married to start a family. The Baul have neither mother nor father. The Baul lives at the base of a tree.
বাউলের থাকে না নিজের ঘর বাড়ি বিয়ে করে কখনো ও বাউল হয় না সংসারী বাউলের নাইকো মাতা নাইকো পিতা বাউলের নাইকো মাতা নাইকো পিতা দেখো থাকে বাউল গাছতলায় খেপারে থাকে বাউল গাছতলায় বাউল হয় ও খেপারে সহজ কথা নয় বাউল হয় ও খেপারে সহজ কথা নয়.
This is Babu Fakir, or Babuda, singing the song Baul Hoa Sohoj Kotha Noy by the poet Kangal Horinath. To me, this song sums up the quintessential image of a Baul, B-A-U-L, Baul, a penniless wandering minstrel who begs for alms and seeks God or truth in his meditation.
Where I grew up near Kolkata, the capital of West Bengal, India, I would often hear Bauls and Fakirs singing on trains, by the side of the river, and at festivals. As a child, I was fascinated by their impromptu performances, which were very different from other concerts I would see. The Baul would be totally engrossed in their music, sometimes crying in the middle of the songs or dancing as if in a trance. We all knew they were very poor, and my family occasionally gave them food or money. But also, my dad spoke with a lot of respect for their philosophy of life.
Shubho first introduced me to Baul music when we met in Chicago. The melodies and rhythms were so captivating that I pulled together some friends and we started a Bengali folk band which Shubho named Ochin Pakhi, the unknown bird. We all really enjoyed the music, but Shubho kept saying something which I couldn't make sense of.
I'm not a Baul, so even if I can tell you the meaning of each word, they will not reveal the inner meanings of this song.
Baul's songs are in Bengali, Shuvo's native language, but he also somehow couldn't understand the full meaning. This was very curious to me, and I wanted to know more. Shuvo told me some general ideas of Baul philosophy, like
The Baul reject all caste and religious differences. The Baul worship God inside the body. Baul try to overcome all human vices through their meditation.
I was intrigued by this genre of music that can portray and teach such deep ideas. Especially relevant to me were the songs that spoke out against the caste system and religious intolerance, which I felt were helping me to digest my own country's history of racism and oppression. I longed to understand the lyrics of the songs we were playing, and to hear what the Baul had to say about the philosophy. I was also really hopeful for a chance to play with these incredible musicians. So I wrote a grant for a Fulbright fellowship and was very fortunate to be selected. I went to West Bengal in 2019 and lived in a place called Shantiniketan, which means the abode of peace. It is a beautiful university town dense with trees, including many banyan trees centuries old. The banyan looks magical because the roots grow down from the sky. Banyan trees start out as a vine growing upon a host tree. The vine sends down roots from where it's climbing up above. Once those roots reach soil, they expand, becoming many trunks, which then send out more branches, which send down more roots, and then become more trunks. New banyan seeds may land on this canopy and add to the growth in all directions. So when you walk under a banyan tree, it feels as if you've walked into a grove. But the trunks are all connected, and the original host tree has long since disappeared in the twisting banyan roots.
In Shantiniketan, where Lucia lived, banyans have become part of the architecture of the town. There are classrooms that use these trees as a roof. People set up shrine to various god and goddesses within the dangling root tails. And when these roots grow through someone's house or shack, they usually prefer to adapt and let the tree grow rather than cutting it down.
Staying in Shantiniketan, I started meeting many Bauls, often singing under the shade of an enormous banyan. I hardly spoke any Bengali at that time, but I have a special way to connect without language. I always travel with my violin, and though I was hearing most of these songs for the first time, the Bauls I met would often insist that I play along. So I would take out my instrument and try my best. Somehow it was a hit, and the Baul really liked the sound of violin in their songs. They would invite me to their homes to meet their families and students, or to perform with them in small cafes and festivals. I was totally entranced by these ecstatic melodies and found myself nearly every day biking across the red, dusty roads seeking Bauls and their music. It wasn't until I became proficient in Bengali that I could understand more of the lyrics. And I also began to understand Shuvo's original point. Just knowing the words couldn't show me the true meaning of these songs.
Here is another verse of the song Babuda was singing. The lyrics will go,
With one mirror you can see everything outside the body. Baul get the news of the body within their practice. With an ektara in hand, Baul seeks the Sufi wisdom.
আসেনি মাগি ভূতের খবর নেই খেপারে মাগি ভূতের খবর নেই বাউল হওয়াও খেপারে সহজ কথা নয় বাউল হওয়াও খেপারে সহজ কথা
The song says that with one mirror, everything in the universe can be seen within the body.
The mirror here is probably alluding to the guru or teacher. I've heard similar ideas in Hafez poems, in songs of Kabir, in the words of the Buddha, that everything can be understood or seen within the framework of the body. But how can one possibly achieve such awareness?
Let's hear what poet Kangal Horinath says in the last verse.
The Baul keep an eye on the news of the wind. Kangal Hori says, do not join the Baul frivolously. Baul renounce all lust and gold and always stay on the third floor.
এই বাউলে রাখে বায়ুর খবর কাঙ্গাল হরি তাই বলে আর শখে পড়ে কেউ যেও না তোমরা বাউলের দলে ভাইরে বাউলের দলে এই বাউলে রাখে বায়ুর খবর কাঙ্গাল হরি তাই বলে শখে পড়ে কেউ যেও না বাউলের দলে আবার কামিনী কাঞ্চনী ত্যাগী বাউল নয় সে ভুগি হয় সে ত্যাগী দেখো থাকে বাউলকে তলায় খেপারে থাকে বাউলকে তলায় বাউল হয় ও খেপারে সহজ কথা নয় বাউল হয় ও খেপারে সহজ কথা নয় যিনি স্বর্গত্যাগী রণরাগী যিনি স্বর্গত্যাগী যিনি স্বর্গত্যাগী রণরাগী ঘর ছেড়ে বৈরাগ্য হয় খেপারে ঘর ছেড়ে বৈরাগ্য হয় বাউল হয় ও খেপারে সহজ কথা নয় বাউল হয় ও খেপারে সহজ কথা নয় বাউল হয় ও খেপারে সহজ কথা নয় বাউল হয় ও খেপারে সহজ কথা নয়
That was Babu Fakir singing Baul Hoa Sohoj Kotha Noi, written by poet Kangal Horinath. When I recorded this song, we were sitting in an open-walled ashram on thin bamboo woven mats.
People sometimes think of an ashram as a big spiritual center, but it can be just a school or a community shade or even a place under a tree where people can sit together to sing, learn, and discuss.
People had gathered at this ashram in a small village in Nodia district of West Bengal. The one brick wall was colorfully painted and held up various folk instruments hanging from nails. Other supports for the roof were merely pillars standing in open air, so songs of frogs and crickets in the pond next door could be heard as Babuda sang and then explained about the meaning of this song.
Becoming a Baul so easy? Huh? Everyone is saying with their mouth, I'm a Baul. If you want to be a Baul, you have to sacrifice. There are many sacrifices involved. You have to be aware of the wind, says Kangal Hori. Even though I did not learn the news of the wind, I am calling myself Baul. But this won't work. You have to learn about the wind and the breath from your guru.
What is Babuda talking about with the news of the wind?
The Baul speak in a twilight language. Even their day-to-day conversation is peppered with metaphors.
So if you ask them, have you eaten?
They might say, I have done my service.
Or if you say, is your husband home?
They might say, oh yes, my spiritual partner is inside.
The Baul and Fakir say hello and goodbye with the same exclamation, Joy Guru, which means victory to the teacher, as you heard us say at the very beginning of the episode.
In this song, the news of the wind is code for watching the breath.
Babuda is emphasizing the purpose of Baul music and the Baul path, which is to attain full liberation or enlightenment.
In order to reach the final goal, it's not enough to just sing the songs. One has to also learn and practice the meditations, like watching the breath.
And also to understand the meaning of the lyrics, one has to practice these meditations. So Baul's songs and philosophies are not just entertainment or ornaments of identity. I began to see that these lyrics and melodies are a map for the quest of self, a guidebook for how to lead a spiritual life and pursue truth.
তারে ধরতে পারলে মন বেড়ি দিতাম পাখির পায় কেমনে আসে যায় খাঁচার ভিতর অচিন পাখি কেমনে আসে যায়.
Singing is Selina Fakirini or Selina Di.
In the language we speak in West Bengal and in Bangladesh called Bengali, everyone becomes family. Like the neighborhood uncle or kaku crossing the street, or the bhai, little brother selling potatoes. You can add di to someone's name to indicate sister, like Selina Di, or da for brother, like Babu Da.
Selina Di is singing a song called Khachar, Bhitor, Ochin, Pakhi by the iconic Baul composer Lalon Fakir. The lyrics go, "Inside the cage is an unknown bird. How does it fly in and out? If I could, I would catch it and chain my mind to its feet."
Can I explain the song a little? Here,
Selina Di is patting her chest as she explains the meaning of the song.
here there is a caged bird. If the bird leaves, like how it goes out when we sleep, it will always come again. The work of breath is watching this coming and going. It's a secret theory that an unknown bird leaves the cage and comes back to it. The song also says that when the bird finally moves out of the cage, it never comes again.
It is widely agreed that the kacha, the cage, is a metaphor for the body, or Deho.
The Ochin Pakhi, which means unknown bird, has many interpretations. It could be heart, soul, or consciousness.
But most commonly, in reference to this song, the Ochin Pakhi, the unknown bird, is the breath. If we can chain our mind to the breath, staying aware all the time, we may be able to glimpse some aspects of truth.
আট কুঠুরি নয় দরজায় আটা মধ্যে মধ্যে ঝলসা কাটা তারু পরে সদর কোঠা তারু পরে সদর কোঠায় আইনা মহল দেয় কেমনে আসে যায়.
The last verse went, "There are 8 chambers and 9 doors, which are beautifully carved. Above them sits the headquarters, a palace of mirrors."
8 chambers and 9 doors is a common metaphor used in many Baul songs. The 9 doors are generally understood to be the 9 entrances or orifices of the body.
What the 8 chambers stand for is rather contested. Some say major organs, some say levels or parts, some say chakras or energy centers. I'm told there's an extra chakra that is not commonly portrayed in the usual 7. Selina Di says this is a secret of the Guru.
The Baul say the only way to understand any of this metaphor is to have a guru. You need to look deeply within and see it for yourself.
The next verse will go, "Fate's plan is written on our forehead. The only way is to use this bird, for some day it will break free of its cage and fly away to some faraway place."
কপালের ফের নইলে কি আর পাখিটিরা মন ব্যবহার কপালের ফের নইলে কি আর পাখিটিরা মন ব্যবহার খাঁচা ফেলে পাখি আমার খাঁচা ফেলে পাখি আমার কুনবা নেপালায় কেমনে আসে যায় খাঁচার ভিতর অচিন পাখি কেমনে আসে যায়।
This song, Khachar Bhitor Ochin Pakhi, was written by Lalon Fakir, the most important composer of the Baul tradition.
Scholars think he was born around 1772 in Kushtia, what is now Bangladesh, then British India, but his exact birth details remain unconfirmed.
Lalon Fakir was a poet, a composer, a philosopher, a spiritual leader, and to this day he is worshipped as a saint.
Lalon composed thousands of songs, which were written down by his disciples, as Lalon himself was not able to read and write. Though these songs are over 200 years old, still today the popularity of Lalon's songs is enormous among all Bengalis, not just Baul. This song, Khachar Bhitor Ochin Pakhi, is one of the best known Baul songs.
In this last verse, you'll hear Lalon Fakir sign his name into the lyric. This is a common practice for many Sufi mystics and also for the Baul. Selina D will sing, "O mind, you have put all your hopes into this cage, but the cage is just made of green bamboo, and one day it is bound to fall and break apart." Lalon Fakir says this, weeping.
মন তুই রইলি খাঁচার আশে খাঁচা যে তোর কাঁচা বাঁশের মন তুই রইলি খাঁচার আশে খাঁচা যে তোর কাঁচা বাঁশের কোন দিন খাঁচা পড়বে খসে কোন দিন খাঁচা পড়বে খসে লালন কেঁদে কয় কেমনে আসে যায় খাঁচার ভিতর অচিন পাখি কেমনে আসে যায় খাঁচার ভিতর অচিন পাখি কেমনে আসে যায়।
Walking along a dusty red road in Shantiniketan with my friend Biplab, who has introduced me to many Bauls, we bumped into a Fakiri guru called Nurbaba. He was sitting in the driver's seat of a Toto, a golf cart-sized battery-powered taxi. Waiting for customers to request a lift, he wore a white kurta and lungi with a white beard and ponytail. He had a long garland around his neck made of dark wooden beads, and beneath the weariness of his brows, his eyes shone with a calm wisdom. Biplab told him I was eager to learn about Fakiri songs, and he invited us to come for music that evening.
Chirodin Pushilam Ochin Pakhi Bed Porichai Denayamai Bed Porichai Denayamai Oi khede jhare akhi amar Oi khede jhare akhi Chirodin Pushilam
This is Nurbaba singing another song by Lalon Fakir called Chirodin Pushilam Ochin Pakhi. While he sings, he plays an instrument called ektara and a rope of bells tied to his foot.
Ektara literally means one string, and the instrument is made with a dried gourd at the base and a single steel string held long and straight by two flexible bamboo planks on either side which bend the pitch when squeezed. We heard reference to this instrument in the first song Babuda sang. The lyric went, "With ektara in hand, Baul seeks the Sufi wisdom."
The string of the ektara pulled taut is said to represent one's upright spine, physically and morally. This is the most traditional way to sing Baul songs. One solo ektara as accompaniment to the voice.
Pakhi boli boli shunte pai Ruttar kemon dekhi nai bhai Vishom gor dekhi ami Vishom gor dekhi Chinar pele chine neta Jito muner dhuk dhuki amar Jito muner dhuk dhuki Chirodin Pushilam Ochin Pakhi Chirodin Pushilam Ochin Pakhi.
The entire song lyrics go, "My whole life long I've kept a pet, an unknown bird, but the bird has not taught me discernment, for this tears stream from my eyes. I can hear the mocking of the bird, but I can't catch sight of it. I'm seeing stars. If I could have, I would have spotted that bird, and this flickering of my mind would finally go away. I couldn't recognize the bird. This shame follows me. Alas, what to do? I know that one day the bird will fly away, throwing dust in my eyes. In this cage there are 8 chambers and 9 windows. Through which does the bird come and go? The bird is playing tricks on my eyes." Shirad Shai says, "Lalon is sitting in wait with a trap for the bird."
Pakhi ude jabe Dhulo diya dui chokhe amar Dhulo diya dui chokhe চিরদিনই পুষিলাম প্রাচীন পাখি।
I asked singer and master teacher Nurbaba to help us understand this song.
পাখিকে তুমি অনেক কিছু খাওয়াচ্ছো,
The bird you have fed for so many days with much trouble. You kept it so long, but have you gotten to know the bird? Did it reveal itself to you? Who am I? If you can feel yourself internally, you will understand everything.
বাউল ফকির খুব ভালো,
Baul Fakir is a good path, a noble path.
বাউল
It is not that I sing Baul songs, so I am a Baul. Not like that.
পথ
It is a walking path, the path of life. It is a good, clean path. But we have to keep to the path.
নিজেকে ঠিক হতে
In order to keep the path straight, we have to make ourselves straight.
সৎ সত্য
Honesty, truth, what are these?
রূপ আছে,
They have definite forms.
এবার চিনতে হবে
We have to get to know those.
গুরু চেনায়
So how will I get to know? Guru will show me the way. No one but Guru can show us the path. When the Guru shows you, you can feel it yourself.
দুনিয়াদারির মধ্যে যে চলতে হয়
You have to be a good person.
সৎ হতে হবে খুব সৎ
In this very full world running, you have to stay honest and make yourself a good person.
ভালো মানুষ কি করে হতে হবে?
How can I become a good person?
এখানে মিথ্যা কথা বলা যায়
There are many things to it. You can say lies, you cannot swindle or cheat people. There are so many actions we take in this world, but how to distinguish which is good or bad? You have to build this discernment within yourself.
কিন্তু এটা আগে
That will happen within you. This is required for everyone.
চিরদিনই পুষিলাম প্রাচীন পাখি, চিরদিনই পুষিলাম প্রাচীন পাখি, চিরদিনই পুষিলাম প্রাচীন পাখি।
That was Nurbaba singing a song composed by Lalon Fakir called Chirodin Pushilam Ek Ochin Pakhi. He was also discussing the meaning of the song before the last verse. Nurbaba brings up a very important point when he says, "It is not that I sing Baul songs, so I am a Baul." Not like that. It is a walking path, the path of life.
The Baul used to be a very marginalized group of people with very little money or political rights. They were oppressed and sidelined for centuries.
Actually, because they don't follow some religious and social norms, their practice made mainstream Bengali society very uncomfortable. Baul would be banned from villages and were often the target of hate crimes by religious vigilantes.
But recently, their songs have become so popular that there is high demand for Baul performances throughout Bengal, India, and even abroad.
In some respects, this popularity has been good for the Baul. Many are able to make decent money now and don't have to beg on the street. They can build concrete houses instead of mud huts, and society treats them with more respect. But remember in the first song by Kangal Horinath, Babuda sang Shorbottagi Onuragi.
যিনি সর্বত্যাগী অনুরাগী।
His deepest love is renunciation. Fakir is originally an Arabic word which means one who is destitute, who has nothing. Extreme poverty is an important part of many spiritual paths, from Franciscan friars to Buddhist monks. Many Baul used to renounce all worldly possessions and just live off of alms.
But there is a rapidly growing number of Shilpi Bauls, or artist Bauls, who sing these songs without practicing the Baul lifestyle or meditations. Kangal Hori was criticizing this very trend when he said, being a Baul isn't so easy.
এই বাউল হওয়ায় খেপারে সহজ কথা নয়।
And Kangal Horinath was writing way back in the 1800s. By now, the Baul practice has become much more diluted than it was even then. This has become rather contentious in the Baul community because everyone is claiming to be a real Baul and doubting the practice of all the others. Unfortunately, it is very hard at this point to find the real masters who are truly living by the philosophy of the songs.
Especially because a true master is very unlikely to go and shout about his mastery. The best teachers can teach by example of how they live, not just by the enchanting words they can weave.
Nurbaba indeed leads a very humble life. For years he lived just from the alms received when sitting and singing under a tree in Shantiniketan. When his wife became paralyzed, he could not pay for her medical treatments, so he began driving Toto and earning money from customers to provide care for his wife. Nearly 10 years later, she is still paralyzed, and he is rather hopeless. He says this struggle has damaged the bhab, the feeling in his music, but that the Baul path teaches acceptance of the struggles in life, even when they are very difficult. Though he has such a unique voice and a huge repertoire, Nurbaba doesn't look for big performance opportunities. His music can't be found on YouTube, Spotify, or anywhere. He sings in his Toto while waiting for work. He struggles just to put food on the table, let alone pay for his wife's medical expenses, yet he speaks with a calm kindness and a wise dignity. Other Toto drivers, seeing my peachy white face, would often try to charge me triple or quadruple fare. But Nurbaba never asked for more than the standard rates. He is always fair and honest. The way Nurbaba was able to handle such a hard situation with poise made clear to me the power of this path, the depth of the music, and the truth in the lyrics. I wondered, where's this tradition coming from? Within many of these songs, we have heard about the Ochin Pakhi, the unknown bird. There is so much emphasis on the wisdom to be gleaned from watching the breath, the news of the wind. This practice sounds to me like a Buddhist meditation, but the Buddhists left Bengal way back in the 12th century.
This is a fascinating story, but we will explore it in the next episode called Searching for the Man of the Heart. Let's close out this episode with the wonderful singer Uttara Boidyo. The song she will sing, Phaki Deowa Pakhi Retur, is written by current day composer Ammulyo Sarkar. He has used many familiar images in his song. The cage, the bird, the news. We'll translate as they go along. See what you can glean yourself from the lyrics and the melody.
শীঘ্র নে না তুই কার্য সেরে হাতে পেতে তোর সম্মুখে ফাঁকি দেওয়া পাখি রে তোর খাঁচাতে ভরা ফাঁকি দেওয়া পাখি রে তোর খাঁচাতে ভরা শীঘ্র নে না তুই কার্য সেরে দেবে পাখি উড়া ফাঁকি দেওয়া পাখি রে তোর দেহ খাঁচাতে ভরা ফাঁকি দেওয়া পাখি রে তোর দেহ খাঁচাতে ভরা
The lyrics go, quickly finish up your work, for the bird will fly away. The untrained bird is caught in the cage of your body. Silver cage, golden cage, whatever the cage may be. When you see it, don't be afraid. There is a distant summons, and when your time comes to leave, you won't be able to catch that bird.
রূপার খাঁচা সোনার খাঁচা খাঁচা হোক না রে যেমন যে দুরন্ত শহর ও তোর যাবার সময় হবে যখন ও তোর যাবার সময় হবে যখন যাবে না পাখি ধরা ফাঁকি দেওয়া পাখি রে তোর খাঁচাতে ভরা
Befriend this bird and tend to it with care, and before its departure it will tell you the news. Out of 10 million, I've only seen a few people who truly became friends with their bird.
পাখির সাথে ভাব রেখে যে যোগায় খোরাকি যাবার আগে খবর তারে বলে যায় পাখি আমি কোটিতে দুই একজন দেখি রে আমি কোটিতে দুই একজন দেখি ওই পাখির সাথে ভাবে করা ফাঁকি দেওয়া পাখি রে তোর খাঁচাতে ভরা
Ammulyo says whoever got good inheritance keeps the daily news and stays alert. But smugglers have entered my house, and the bird could not be captured.
অমূল্য কয় পিতৃধন পুঁজি আছে যার আর রোজের খবর রোজ রাখে সে থাকে হুঁশিয়ার অমূল্য কয় পিতৃধন পুঁজি আছে যার আর যাওয়ার আগে পাখির তারে এই রোজের খবর রোজ রাখে সে থাকে হুঁশিয়ার আমার ঘরে ঢুকলো চোরা কারবার
This string instrument is called dotara and is being played by the amazing Fakir, who has recorded all the dotara backgrounds you'll hear throughout this podcast series.
আমার ঘরে ঢুকলো চোরা কারবার রে তাই গেল না পাখি ধরা ফাঁকি দেওয়া পাখি দেহ খাঁচাতে ভরা এই ফাঁকি দেওয়া পাখি দেহ খাঁচাতে ভরা শীঘ্র নে না তুই কার্য সেরে শীঘ্র নে না তুই কার্য সেরে ওরা দেবে পাখি কোন দিন উড়া ফাঁকি দেওয়া পাখি রে তোর দেহ খাঁচাতে ভরা ফাঁকি দেওয়া পাখি রে তোর দেহ খাঁচাতে ভরা
Thanks for listening. Today you heard songs exploring Deho Twatto, the theory of the body.
Please tune in for the next episode, Searching for the Man of the Heart, which will also explore Deho, the body, but using another metaphor, the house.
For a summary of the songs, composers, and artists of today's episode, as well as links to listen and learn more, please check out the show notes. This podcast series is the fruit of 2 Fulbright fellowships I undertook in West Bengal, India. Many thanks to the Fulbright-Nehru program. Special thanks also to Biplab Ghosh, Arnab Sengupta, Rina and Manosij Goswami for help in the field, to Gene Nemirovsky for audio engineering, to all the musicians and teachers who recorded for me, and to my husband and co-host Sohoj Sengupta for making this show possible. My name is Lucia Thomas, and you've been listening to Banyan Roots, a podcast series on the Baul and Fakir, musical mystics from Bengal. Please visit www.amplisoundsradio.com to find out more.
Joy Guru.
Joy Guru.